Right now to an unthinkable crime in Coney Island. A 95-year-old woman now being charged with murder for the fatal beating of her elderly roommate.
So disturbing. Sharon?
Now, this happened as Sunday on a third-floor room of this residential facility. A nurse telling police that she checked on the 89-year-old victim, Nina Kravtsov, and she said that she was asleep. And then an hour later, the nurse returned to the room only to find her covered in blood and her roommate, the defendant, 95-year-old Galina Smirnova, washing blood off of her clothing in the bathroom. Nina Kravtsov was lying in her bed, non-responsive, covered in blood with a gash mark about her face. And further, the witness saying that the defendant was in the bathroom that is inside the patient room and observed that the defendant's hospital gown was bloody and the defendant had blood on her legs, and the defendant was also washing her hands in the bathroom sink. And court documents showing that investigators may be looking at the pedals of the wheelchair as a possible murder weapon. They were covered in blood, and one of those pedals was seen. It was thrown out the third floor window and later found and confiscated by police. So the defendant in this case has been moved to Bellevue and will be back in court later this month.
95-year-old Galina Smirnova was arraigned on a murder charge today in Brooklyn Criminal Court. According to prosecutors, she was discovered by a staff member at Seagate Nursing Home washing blood off herself and around the room she had shared with Nina Kravtsov for only 2 days. Nina Kravtsov was dead, according to the medical examiner, of blunt force trauma.
She was asleep at sometime around 9 o'clock, and by 10 o'clock, she was beaten to a pulp.
The alleged murder weapon, a leg rest from Smirnova's wheelchair found discarded outside the building. Kravtsov's family's attorney Randy Zellin is normally a defense lawyer and tells us dementia plays a legal role here in 2 ways. First, in a likely civil suit against Seagate, which had been Kravtsov's home for several years, arguing that it shouldn't have paired a patient with dementia with a roommate in a brand new environment without some supervision. And second, if the defense makes the case Smirnova didn't know what she was doing.
Dementia can bring on, unprovoked, out of nowhere, a fit of complete rage. So defensively, that's the defense. Now, be interesting to see how that plays in against the backdrop of apparently discarding the piece of the wheelchair, washing her hands in the bathroom. Now suddenly we begin to see, maybe I do know what I was doing.
Attorney Randy Zellin says a team here at his office will be seeking justice for the family.